the lights are on. These players have made it to this point to prove that they are the best of APAC. Let's find out with our semifinals match number 1, OSSERU versus DUCHAN. Stoic, make it a bud, take it away.
Yep, like you said, OSSERU and DUCHAN. We got our round 1 match here in the semifinals. Pre-ban's coming out right now. Gianna and Molly are going to be getting the pre-ban here.
Yeah, so I think DUCHAN's going to play aggressive here. He's taking out, when you take on a Molly early, it's generally going to be aggressive. It might even be a Molly Diana alternating pre-ban. OSSERU taking out the Gianna makes a lot of sense. It's not a unit he has here. DUCHAN taking a Nana early could signal that he could also decide to tangle with the turn 2 play. If OSSERU decides to lean in too hard into, if OSSERU is able to counter enough of the AoE play but lean too hard into being open to single target, DUCHAN's going to be able to do that. He lays in the Ragdoll and Juno here, which is pretty good picks overall. I think the Ragdoll's very good into a Carnal here, and the Juno's good into both of those units. So DUCHAN right now definitely not going for the cleave style. We're going to see a little bit more back and forth, and definitely looking to survive and just kind of use his rune advantage and LD advantage to wear down OSSERU.
Yep, looks like OSSERU is going to be bringing back I want to call it a crowd favorite. Gio is going to be coming back alongside Abelio as well.
Oh boy, we're in for a long one here as we see the Dark Onimusha and the Riley. So it's going to come down to finding that right moment to be able to burst down units here. The Abelio's already on OSSERU's side, so OSSERU has turtled up here, and we're going to see a lot of back and forth going on here. I don't know if OSSERU really has a good win condition off the bat to take down a unit. He's going to really need to have Gio provide a defense break, and then Carnal probably using skill 2 and proc to do some damage. That's going to be his win condition. But DUCHAN's got a lot of resilience. He's got the Nana, he's got the Riley, and then he also has a lot of damage coming from the side of Dark Onimusha and attack bar gain from the Ragdoll. So I think DUCHAN's favored probably about 60-40 in this matchup, but we'll see how the RNG shakes out.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. DUCHAN's going to be kicking us off with a very fast Riley, throwing down the immunity, but of course Karma's going to be landing true on top of that Nana. A little bit of damage coming from OSSERU here with his Carnal going into the Nana's unit of choice.
Yeah, Carnal does go into the unit of choice there. Wow, and that Nana using skill 2 there, sapping all of its HP basically. So DUCHAN, I'm not sure if that's the move that he wanted to do here, but that Nana's basically a wide open target right now.
It really is. I mean, the ability is going to be there to save OSSERU's team. No provoke's going to be landing on anybody, though.
Yeah, no provokes landing on anybody right now. Kind of in a dicey spot here. OSSERU needs to hang on here. There's a lot of damage coming out from the side of DUCHAN. DUCHAN also has the Riley that's going to be able to pick up his team. So that Nana is going to be picked up here because Riley provides a lot of healing over time here. So DUCHAN in a good spot here, and it's going to be able to hang on.
Ooh, Revenge Despair Stun coming out of Nana. I was not expecting to see that happen there.
Yeah, definitely not. That definitely does not happen often. It's a 15% chance of revenge and a 25% chance of stun, but that's a lot of damage coming off on the Dark Onimusha, and that unit goes down here. So we're looking at just an Abelio left, and DUCHAN looking so good right now with this entire team there and stacking orbs on that Nana.
Yep, 3 orbs on that Nana, and usually that's that big sign of no return, to be honest with you, but he's going to try his absolute best here. OSSERU landing the Karma on top of the Ragdoll, a little bit of poke damage going towards defense broken Dark Onimusha. Defense break's going to be landing on top of that Gio as well. Additional turns going to be rolling out with the Shizuka. Not too much you can use with that second skill yet.
Wow, that's so much damage going on to that Gio there. Just one attack from the Dark Onimusha basically took down 2/3 of its health here. So DUCHAN definitely bringing a lot of damage here. The 3 orbs from the Nana and the Riley providing heals is just going to be too strong for OSSERU to handle. OSSERU doesn't really have a window of opportunity, right? Like the Gio's going to be able to give defense break, and he's going to be able to do some damage with the Abelio, but really there isn't an opportunity for OSSERU to consistently take kills and stay alive here. DUCHAN just has too many threats here, too much defense breaks from the Dark Onimusha, just too much damage. So DUCHAN in a really, really good position in this draft.
Yeah, definitely a good position indeed. We've got that stun landing on top of that Abelio, helping to keep that unit back here. We've got a little bit of sustain coming from that skill 1 with Riley. And of course, Shizuka doesn't have anything up here right now, but the additional turn is going to pop up, taking advantage of the defense broken Ragdoll.
Yeah, that's a big proc there because it allows Gyu to go above 30%, so Abelio's gonna have his third skill procced off if DUCHAN does decide to attack the Gyu, so that's something he has to watch out for. So unfortunately for DUCHAN, he's gonna have to tough this out a little longer here. But again, DUCHAN does have 3 orbs up on the Nana, does have a Riley to sustain his team, and it's a lot of damage coming off on the Dark Onimusha. Might just take out this Gyu right here, so DUCHAN looking so good here.
Yep, that's right. Unit focus right now is that Gyo looking really low right now. Still 3 orbs on that Nana, and that's something that just OSSERU is not going to be able to get through here.
Yeah, so definitely not going to be able to go through there. 4 orbs, 3 orbs again here. It's about to be 4 very soon here when DUCHAN takes out another unit. All of DUCHAN's units are full HP. Again, OSSERU doesn't really have a win condition here, doesn't have defense break, doesn't have bursts here. Just a matter of time before he decides to quit out this match.
Yep, and there you have it. DUCHAN with a very commanding first round victory over OSSERU.
Yeah, so great draft by DUCHAN. As expected, he is the favorite coming in. He has the better box, better runes here. So he's going to need to bring in something that provides some volatility. When you're the underdog, typically you're going to need to provide something different or something that allows you to win with a proc. You're going to need a little bit of RNG to come back. So triple revenge verds, things like that become very powerful when you're the underdog. So OSSERU, though, unfortunately, when he brings in Gyus and brings in Abelios, means you're going to play a lot of back and forth. You're going to need to take more turns. And as you take more turns over time, it favors the player with the better box and the better units, and then, of course, better decision-making as well. But assuming same decision-making, the player that has the lesser box generally wants to bring in more volatility because his chances of winning are not 50-50, it's lower than that. So you want to bring it to as high as you can to give yourself a chance to win if you get 1 proc or something like that. So I really like DUCHAN's draft there. A lot of resilience, Nana, Riley, Ragdoll to give himself attack bar, and then Dark Onimusha just so much damage over time.
Yep, and brought enough damage there to definitely get that victory there. So DUCHAN looking really, really strong right now, getting that that first round victory here. And I'm kind of expecting to see him play that similar route. Like we've already seen him play these same units here before. So if he sticks to this route, I think this could be looking very bright for him as we go into game number 2.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see DUCHAN probably take a similar style approach here. As long as OSSERU decides to keep drafting this way, DUCHAN does not need to take the risk to go with cleave. When you cleave, you have 85% chance to land your skills, and potentially less, right, if your accuracy is not quite there. And if he decides to have Nana backing up his team like that and do damage and press the advantage of his runes, he might even have a higher than 85% chance, or 80%. So he might have determined that this is the best way to win. So I think DUCHAN's just got so many avenues of attack here, and OSSERU might just be limited by his box in this situation here, and it's just going to be an uphill battle for him to climb.
Well, interesting pre-ban here. We got Nephthys going to get pre-banned by OSSERU, and of course, DUCHAN's going to be pre-banning the Carnal here.
Yeah, pre-banning the Carnal because Carnal presents a lot of volatility because procs are so impactful. Typically, again, when you're the underdog like OSSERU, you want to bring in impactful units that can take over the battle with 1 proc. Brings in a Masha. Masha's a great unit for volatility because the proc can basically take over the game. DUCHAN's kind of leaning into low damage so far, so he's going to need to probably bring in the Dark Onimusha at this point. He needs some sort of damage here. Brings in the Miles. So Miles is pretty impactful, but at the same time, if OSSERU's tanky, that Miles might need to get 4 or 5 hits to kill something. So DUCHAN's draft right now is solid. I would expect OSSERU to pick some sort of Juno and some other things like that to counter exactly Juno and Molly, and we're going to be in for a long game. So it's going to come down to who has better runes and survive over a longer period of time. And DUCHAN looking to end this early with a Molong. So if you bring in a Molong like this, you're likely going to probably be banning out either the Gyu or the Nana is probably where his head's at the moment.
Whoa, he's going to be swapping out that Molong. It looks like we're hovering over an Oberon here. Oberon Shizuka being an excellent combination. Changes out the Oberon. Brings in the Dark Onimusha.
Yeah, and that's just DUCHAN having so many LDs to choose from. I mean, it's hard to pick one when you have all these LDs to use. Dark Onimusha is always is generally a very good pick here. There's no immunity on the side of OSSERU, so obviously he's going to be eating a defense break every time, and the Dark Onimusha is going to be able to do a lot of work over time. So as long as DUCHAN does not get procced on for this Masha and get defense broken and eaten alive here, DUCHAN should be able to wear down OSSERU over time.
All right, well, let's see what happens here with DUCHAN taking turn 1 with the Miles. Miles looking for a skill 2 strip stun, only gets the strip here onto the Masha, gets the additional turn, pummeling just a little bit more damage here.
Wow, pretty unlucky not to strip that Oliver there. So that Oliver is going to be able to reset some units here. Probably resetting the Molly, resetting the Gyus here. So DUCHAN's going to be able to press this advantage early on. He's going to be able to do a lot of damage, and that's exactly what he needs to do because he doesn't have any healing on his side. So he needs to take out units and get through these orbs of Nana.
Yeah, he's getting those stuns that he needs here to keep the Masha back, and of course the Masha down and pushing the Molly back as well. We've got Nana trying to get some despair stuns. Does lock in a despair stun on top of the Tomo.
Yeah, and that's pretty massive to get quad defense breaks on everything. But unfortunately for OSSERU, that Masha's stun up, so that Masha might not be able to take advantage of all those defense breaks that just popped on here. So DUCHAN, again, needs to press an advantage, is doing so, and is in the process of removing some units from the field here. So DUCHAN's in the lead at the moment, but it's going to come down to some procs and also some despair stuns if he can get them from this Nana.
Now he's getting some of those despair stuns already, getting that despair stun locked down onto the Tomo, and we have the dismounted Masha look like could get removed from the field, but he probably wants to get rid of that orb that's sitting on top of the Nana at the moment.
Yeah, definitely wants to get through that orb here. And DUCHAN's not able to use skill 2 yet because he wants to take out multiple units in one shot. So he's waiting for a bigger window of opportunity to kill units here. But I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get that because he's going to be facing a lot of threat here. He's really lucky he didn't get defense broken there. Otherwise, he'd be losing that Oliver, and then Nana would get another orb. So DUCHAN getting a little lucky here, might be able to find an opening, but that opening is closing the longer he waits.
Yep, it really is. And we've got skills available for Oliver here, choosing not to use it. He's got the karma on him right now, so no skill 3 is going to be coming out here. No despair stun coming from Nana. A little bit of poke damage coming towards the Tomo. We've got OSSERU trying to claim another orb for his team, but Tomo's going to get the despair stun on top of the Gyo, looking for a defense break, resisting it once again.
Wow. Absolutely massive, and that's so much damage coming from the Dark Onimusha, but unfortunately that Gyo is still alive here, so that's one unit's going to go down here. But again, DUCHAN in a good spot here.
Yeah, definitely in a good spot indeed. He was able to drop that Nana. Nana's going to be gone here, so no have to worry about the orbs here. But of course, we're going to get the skill 2 right back onto the Oliver. He is going to use that skill 2, and he's going to get his HP all the way down to about a 1% area.
Yeah, and DUCHAN, OSSERU needs to address this Dark Onimusha right now because he's basically looking to win with the Masha Molly combination here. So putting a defense break on the Miles makes sense as well, but he needs to take care of that Dark Onimusha because the Dark Onimusha does a lot of damage and it's going to allow him to win. So OSSERU kind of really in a rough spot here. Has a dismounted Masha and is going to be looking to go down 0-2.
Oof. The dismounted Masha indeed trying to do all the damage that it can right now to that Tomo. Tomo's been super lucky with these despair stuns, though. It's been wild seeing all the despair stuns coming out from that unit. DUCHAN taking round 2.
Wow, so very good play from DUCHAN. I mean, both players playing really well. Excellent play. I think this one came down to that Gyu not landing a couple of defense breaks that it needed to. You look at some of the turns there. When you have a Nana on the field, you want to stack orbs, and had some of those defense breaks landed, that would have opened up some targets for Masha to one-shot, and would have allowed OSSERU to start stacking those orbs. Once those orbs start stacking up, the game's kind of over. Like, it snowballs out of control, but DUCHAN really lucky to get some of those resists on those defense breaks, and was able to hang in there. DUCHAN didn't bring in any healing, so was pretty committed with whatever he brought in and needed to take out units with that. And so he was able to do so, and that's why he won. And he takes a 2-0 lead, which is absolutely massive in this situation. It's really hard to get a reverse sweep at this level of play.
It really is, especially seeing the way how DUCHAN's been playing right now. He's had 2 very commanding victories here. OSSERU really needs to pull something out, something that, you know, maybe DUCHAN isn't ready for. I always bring this up in these tournaments, that when you make yourself unpredictable, that is like one of your best things that you can do to your opponent, because if you keep your opponent guessing, you know, they can't predict or, you know, plan to bring anything in preparation for whatever, you know, they've seen you play in the past year. So maybe that's what OSSERU needs to do here as we go into a game number 3. But we'll see, because DUCHAN's looking really good right now.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I mean, absolutely need to be unpredictable here or bring in something different. You need to bring in something as the underdog with lesser LDs. I believe, right, lesser LDs and potentially lesser runes. You need to bring in high impact units that provide a lot of volatility. You need that proc to swing the match. You need that triple revenge bird, things like that. And so OSSERU is fighting an uphill battle, but that's kind of what he needs at this point in the game. trying to tough it out with consistent matches or matches where your opponent can use his rune advantage and LDs is not going to pan out, especially when you're down 0-2. You're going to need some RNG on your side here. So we'll see if OSSERU's gonna be able to leverage Dianas or maybe some Antares to come back. Otherwise, DUCHAN's gonna be able to press advantage with his box, and eventually out of 3 matches should be able to take something.
Yep, well, Nana's going to be the first pick coming out of DUCHAN. Moved out that Cardinal coming back with a Shizuka as well. DUCHAN very quick to bring back the Praha and the Ragdoll here. OSSERU looking to respond.
Yeah, just some really great consistent units from DUCHAN. You see the Praha with a lot of versatility there. And you see the Ragdoll just giving your team attack bar every time your opposing team crits on you. So that's a lot of versatility and redundancy and that it provides you over time here. The Mephisto's not something we see often, so very interesting to see that so early. But again, OSSERU has a team that kind of runs out at the mid speeds, 270s, 260s, 280s, and that is susceptible to some form of creep. So DUCHAN's hovering over the Nephthys Changpeng Praha here. So he's going to have the ability between the Praha and Changpeng to have an AoE strip for the Nephthys underneath. So from an opening standpoint, OSSERU is either going to have to eat a Changpeng AoE or he's going to have to eat a Nephthys AoE from DUCHAN. So DUCHAN has a really strong opening here. Those 3 units are basically going to allow him to win this draft here. I think Sagar is going to be the ban unless it's on Violent. If it's on Violent, this makes sense. But if it's on Swift, it could disrupt DUCHAN. But right now, what I'm expecting to see is a Praha strip into a Changpeng AoE control.
Well, let's see what happens here as we get into round number 3 with DUCHAN and OSSERU. We've got Cigar kicking things off right now.
Yeah, and so Cigar could make things a little interesting here. It does move in front. So as noted, I was expecting to see the Praha move in front of the Changpeng, but unfortunately for DUCHAN, Sagar moves in front. So that's probably not something he planned for, that Sagar was so quick. So DUCHAN's going to be on the back foot here. He does have that Nana with that 1 orb for protection, but again, there's going to be a lot of tempo for OSSERU at this point because he was able to get that open.
Yep, exactly. And of course, the Despair Stun Death Break is going to be landing true on top of that. Changpeng, and that's so much damage coming out here.
So much damage, and again, there's that Mephisto on this field that gets stronger as each unit dies, and also denies that revive and denies that orb. So just denies the ability to revive using that orb. So unfortunately for DUCHAN here, he's on the back foot here. Even though he has speed buff, it's a long uphill battle for him to climb.
Yep, instead of looking for the defense break, Provoke does land it here, trying to get gets another Despair Stun with Karma landing on top of the Praha as well. Things really in OSSERU's favor right now. It's looking very good for him.
Yeah, definitely looking very good for him. And at the end of the day, DUCHAN needs to address this Mephisto because this Mephisto is going to prevent this Nana from being effective. So at some point when DUCHAN needs to win here, he's going to have to take care of that Mephisto because otherwise he's not going to be able to revive with that Nana. So DUCHAN at some point needs to think about that, but at the same time needs to start taking other units to establish control of the field.
Yeah, DUCHAN was able to get another orb up on top of his Nana. Nana's going to be a little more effective here. Oh no, the Scar died to the dots and not giving another orb for this Nana.
Wow, and DUCHAN with a huge comeback here. My 3-0 here. This Mephisto not doing enough here. DUCHAN with 3 units left. All the units at full HP, and it's just this Mephisto left. So DUCHAN looking like he's going to take this 3-0.
That is crazy. DUCHAN able to keep OSSERU back here. Mephisto not bringing enough to the table right now. The additional turns rolling out. DUCHAN with the 3-0.
And so with that victory, Korea will have one of its representatives there at the World Finals. DUCHAN booking his ticket to the APAC Cup Finals.